take it this song was sang to you. Eh? Yeah?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yep.
I need you to come closer because my voice say how I'm saying.
Definitely.
Did he play it or did he sing it?
I think to me, every time press, for me, it's like a poem. He's not even singing it.
Yeah.
It's like literally, it's reaffirming. I can hear my forefathers. He's not singing it. It's a poetry. He's talking to me.
And you know how it came about, right? He went to Lesotho actually, and then he met this poet. And this poet, he brought this poet to South Africa, and then they started working on this song.
Wow, I didn't know that.
This is not Press's words. Press was like, I need inspiration beyond me. And he went to the source and he found this guy from Lesotho, I forgot his name, and he penned this song, Tojana Tisel.
Wow.
And then Press was like, what? And then as he wrote these words and throwing them to Press started having the melody, and that's how Tojana Tisel was born.
Love it.
Right?
Yes.
Joalane. Lebitso la hao monna he. Le habedi ma.
Hlile.
Wena ba itseng ho wena?
It's a lineage name.
Okay.
Habampulela. I'm named after my dad's Rakhadi, who was named after the Rakhadi. So I'm probably the third generation of Rakhadi.
Joalane the third.
Yes.
Meaning
Bujwala Bobonyane. I think it's a direct translation. But wherever I ask, Joalane does not have meaning, but it's a very well-known Sesotho name.
We researched it.
And I'm curious.
For those saying Sesotho sa Gauteng ba tla re ke jwala, it has to do with something with alcohol. Joalane, when you go deeper, it goes into the celebration. Because, I mean, what is Mosebetsi Wakatlung? What is a celebration without a brew of sorts? Even Jesus at a wedding made sure there's wine.
Yes.
So wherever there's Joalane, you must know there has to be a celebration or she must be celebrated.
Wow.
So when Alan Tabi saying, basically are twins.
Wow. Yeah, I own that. Thank you. I'm taking it.
Take
fully.
it and run with it.
I'm running with it. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
You're a mech engineer?
I am.
A mechanical engineer?
Yep.
And then wait a minute. When you saw it, in fact, I want you to try and tell me how you convinced your parents that you're going to be a mechanical engineer.
Yo. So I was raised by my dad's brother. My parents split when I was young.
Okay.
So and they were convinced I was gonna do medicine.
Yeah.
Or my dad, I call him my dad because he raised me. He was so passionate about animals. So at one stage they were convinced I was gonna go to UOFS and study animal science, or I was gonna go to Cuba. I think it was at the time where most students were going to Cuba to study medicine. And now I couldn't stand blood. I couldn't stand blood. And there was an exhibition at UNISA back then. And at the Choman thing, I remember then there was an exhibition called UNISA, and Transnet was there.
What demo, by the way?
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was a lady from Transnet. She was a train driver.
Oh.
And there was a company, Submarine, was there as well. There were very few SAA.
Those expose us something else, though. They expose you to so much more.
Yeah. It was 98 back then. And I fell in love. I was convinced I was going to either go into marine studies or I was going to drive a train. That was it.
Yeah.
And my sister was studying law already at UWC, and she completed the forms, and I got the bursary, and that was that.
Really?
Yep.
What is this with these girls? Who never king. It's okay.
It's discipline, and I'm a daughter of a domestic worker. So my parents, though my mom and dad were not together, and my extended parents, Mam Kulwaka, Ramulwaka, they were so passionate about education. And we knew then that education is the one thing that was going to get us out of poverty.
That's right.
We knew, and it was, for me specifically, because I was quite smart when I was younger, it was instilled from a very young age, love for maths, love for numbers, and you have to go to school to be something in life. And that was that. So there was no two ways about it. And my dad's brother and his children, much older than me, he set a very, very high standard and high expectations for me and my siblings. So that was that. It was a destiny. I think had I not been an engineer, I would be a pilot, a mechanical engineer. I wouldn't know. I knew that I'm going to something.
And do you see? Let me rephrase. It's something to grow up in such a household. It's another to go out of that household into the environment, right? And the environment may tell you something else, may even change you. The fear most times is, right? What happens when adolescence hit? Because we know what then happens. A lot of things then can pull her either way. So is the strictness in the household the cure to this?
I think I always laugh about it. My Remholo's children, Babam Holo, my dad's older brother, he is he's late now, but he imparted such a profound discipline in everything that I do. So he had 5 older children, so I was the youngest. So they always laugh that when I ring the last born, you last born twice. Your dad's house and your Babam Holo's house. And he was my best friend. I spent hours with that man. He was a school principal. He was a reader. He was a writer. He was a researcher. And we spent hours. We have this grape tree.
Okay.
So we'll sit under the grape tree. We'll watch cars together. He dropped me at school. He picked me up from school. But I think he was not strict. It was more the depth of who am I, my lineage, why should I go to school? It was not them being strict, but it was him being truly my best friend. So that was somebody who
he gave you meaning.
He gave me meaning, and he gave me something that I could continuously work towards. There's a song that's I'm not so good at singing. I think he ignited that, and that is the one thing that I carry with me wherever I go.
That's Nati Intlizio.
So it's not necessarily the strictness, but the willingness to want to be something better, make something better out of your life. And the love. He absolutely loved me.
So normally we tend to measure our lives based on what we don't have. Our void becomes such a thing that we end up missing out on what is there, what has been provided. So dad not being there, you had Babumkulu. So you had a father. And not only that, who poured so much into you. And I mean, look at you now, engineer, pursuing your PhD.
I did MBA. I did construction management studies. What is that?
And then you're an entrepreneur. There's just so much that you are doing with your life, and that's why we're celebrating you today, because I feel there's a lesson, there is a formula, if anything, to copy from your life. Now, the entrepreneurial spirit, and then we can unbundle this as the show continues, but the entrepreneurial spirit, where does that come from?
If you call my sister, my Babamkhulu's youngest daughter, Osmorin.
The other last born.
The other last born, that I took the space of the last born. She always say, in fact, my nephew, Tsapang, shared some of the photos when I was in 15, 16, and I was counting money.
Really?
Yes, most of the photos, it's either it's a birthday or it's anything. I'm counting money. So I think it's something that I'm inherently born with, to be an entrepreneur. And my dad's father and Tate Mogel and Tate Moholo from Virginia is late as well. He was known to run tech shops. So my father's family, Tate Moholo nahlama plasing, so they stayed in the farms, but he was not necessarily a laborer at the farm. So he was good in numbers and used to run tech shops. So I think the entrepreneur spirit is something that runs in my blood.
Are you the only one from this tree?
Yeah, most of my siblings are academics and corporate.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many grandkids? How many of your generation are there? You and your cousins?
I don't know. We're quite broad, so we have family in Lesotho. Hello, Lesotho.
Hey.
We have Kokwa, so probably in my generation, direct cousins, it's about 10, 11 of us, and extended cousins, we can go to 30, super extended.
Let's just focus on the 10, 11, right? So give me a spread there. You're saying academics?
Yeah, so ke abuti, firstborn, Abuti Matlomola, the chaplain.
What do you mean chaplain?
Chaplain of the army.
What?
Like the counselor.
Yeah.
But then he went on, he's the chaplain of the army. And then my late sister Osum Jabeng, she worked at the bank, she was banking accounting.
Sure.
And Vincent was a teacher, retired now. Manzani was a teacher, retired now. Maureen, accountant. Sabi, lawyer. My brother, my mom's did not necessarily like school, so I didn't go to school much.
Yeah.
And we've got Tsepi. Tsepi is into commodities.
Yeah.
He's working for another big company.
Yeah.
Thokozani is an accountant. So we are mixed. My sister's a lawyer. So we are mixed.
Yeah. We're going to go into your entrepreneurial journey just now. But when you look back, you were basically, you started working very young.
Yeah.
And this is what, your in-service training as a mech-eng person, right?
Yes.
Tell me about how money changes you at that age, now that you are not answerable to anyone but yourself. What was that like for you?
I don't think money changed me. I think money to me, it gave me possibilities.
Sure.
So what do I mean by that? Remember, I grew up in Kwadwa, and my dad's brother did well. Yeah. You know, him and the wife were in education and did very well. So then I'd go home. My parents had split, and my dad had left us completely.
Yeah.
So my mother did not go to school. My mother's a domestic worker. So I'd go home and kiakum kuku.
Yes.
So I'd go to Kwadwa, have my own room, have running water, have everything.
Yeah, but when you go to mom,
when I go to mom. So with my very first salary, I fixed my grandmother's house, my mom's mother's house, because it was leaking. So money for me, it gave me possibility. And because engineering is not as long as law, I could help my sister while she was studying law. So it gave me a possibility. It afforded me opportunity to buy my mom a house, my dad a house, cars. Like, it gave me possibility.
You even extended it to your father too?
Yeah, of course. It's still my dad. His brother raised me.
I get it. You know how it is. We live there for.
No, he came back. He came back about 8-10 years ago. And I thank God for his life. I thank God that he has given me, an opportunity to make amends, an opportunity to love him and to be fully present in his life. And I choose that. I choose forgiveness. I do not choose for my heart to harden in any way. Absolutely never. No.
Did you try and get mom's permission first, or?
My mom my mom is such a soft. Give me try. So my dad.
Why are mothers so forgiving?
No, my mom is taking care of my child. Okay, they do stay in separate houses, but the houses are very close to each other. Yeah. And my mom is I always say, between my sister Sabi, the lawyer, and my mom, if my sins are too many, they can't get me access into heaven.
Yeah.
Those two. If I'm champagning too much or whiskey too much, those ones are gonna say, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my mom is very forgiving.
Today is a special edition of Women in Business. entrepreneurial, and so forth. And I think there's a leaf or two to take from her book, Joalane Nkosi. If you're on LinkedIn, that's the best place to read all about her. Just find Joalane Nkosi, and you will see her, woman in oil, now in consulting, and she's got her own hospitality business. The law GD. Well, now, it's up to you. These are all your songs, eh? Who should I play first? After Mo, Senior Oat, TKZ, Zonke, Tandiswa, Sem Deep, Lazana, which one?
Universal Charisma. Okay, let's do Senior Oat.
Senior Oat.
All in You.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All of those things in one. All in You. My top 10 at 10 with Joalane Nkosi. So wait a minute. You are also not only... You're passionate about oil, by the way.
I am.
What about oil?
Full value chain, end to end. From refinery, distribution, storage of refined products or unrefined products, to construction of retail sites, to selling of bulk fuel. I do all that. I do all that.
Yeah.
So it's full end to end, full value chain.
Are you in mining now?
Yes, I just got into mining.
What do you mean you just got into? Because that was your space. You left it and come back, or?
No, with mining, I'd always been providing services to mining. So I'll provide lubricants. I'm registered with the Reserve Bank and with SARS and all those things to import product. Assets to import equipment. So the specific equipment that we can import all over the world.
Yeah.
So I've got global partners. I sit in a board in Europe for a business.
What?
In Europe.
All of this in 24 hours, ne?
Yes.
Okay. No, just checking.
So I sit in this board in Europe, and it has I worked for the 3 oil majors in South Africa, so I can't say the names.
Yes.
And that has then opened up and given me an opportunity to travel a lot abroad and to understand engineering equipment. So fast forward, my space in mining was supplying equipment to mining.
Yes.
But I had not been a processor in mining or a miner itself. So which space am I getting into now? I'm getting into processing of minerals in mining because I have engineering, I'm bringing equipment, so I might as well
Might
do
as well
processing.
dip in, yeah.
And I employ a whole lot of engineers from electrical, mechanical, civil, and there's also process engineers who are able to support that dream. One needs to continue to diversify and to change. I'm getting into renewable energy as well, converting waste to energy. Also deep in conversations of just or fair energy mix. So I'm very passionate about energy, oil and gas, energy in its totality. Yeah, mining, of course.
And not only mining, hospitality. What's happening in hospitality?
Yo, hey, to us. This one, I must sit properly.
Why all in you? I'm just peeling that orange for you, or onion, if you will. Hospitality?
I think it was 4 years ago. Literally, I had a dream. Literally. And there, my dad's older brother, my dad who raised me, we were in this beautiful house, and he was picking up flowers, and he crossed the road to go to a small stream and brought 5 fishes, and he came back with them and said, Rahadi, Masadi Mahol. I used to say that, I'm going to fry this and you're going to eat this. And lo and behold, 4 months later, I'm being called by a close friend, a white guy, a lawyer. Hi, Joe, there's something in town. Are you interested? I was still married then, in the middle of Free State. Come look at this. I went, and the minute I walked into that house, I was like, I was here 4 months ago in a dream. And where this window is, there used to be a door to go outside to those flowers I can see outside. And there's a stream. It's like, how do you know? I'm like, no, I was here in a dream. And it was up for sale. got investors and invested in that, converted it fully to a boutique hotel, went through the whole processes of 2 years newspaper advertising, town planning, the whole shebang. Got full liquor license. So we're opening up a restaurant in November, end of November. So it's a fully functioning, we're rebranding it. It's currently operating as a guest house. We're rebranding it and fully opening up the space to be a boutique hotel. We do events. We've hosted your Kulichanas, your...
What?
I don't know. I mean, my daughter would know. I don't know. The young people would know. So we've had massive events, and we continue to do that. We are in Frankfurt in the Free State. And the intent for me, having worked so early and having reached almost the pinnacle of my career at age of 25, 26. I was traveling abroad. So it was to bring hospitality, to make it accessible.
Yes.
To make it so accessible.
Because you saw what the world presented, right?
Exactly.
And offered,
And that weekends we might just go and drink and be wasted. Whereas you can take your kids out, you can come for breakfast, you can sleep in nice rooms, you can have 5-star service. Why not? So that was the aim. We continue to service that market of the Eastern Free State.
Is it? I still say it again, all in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You have an offer now to do a PhD? Or to do what?
Yeah, I'm doing it. And I got a call today.
You got a call?
As I was driving here.
Over and above the fact that you're already in a PhD.
Yeah, somebody wants to give me a scholarship to continue in that phase. So, yeah.
Here or abroad?
Abroad.
And because it's Italy, you're going to go running, right?
It's in the UK. Of course, I love Italy.
Yes, there you go.
Love Italy.
What's with Italy?
I love the architecture. I love the landscape. I love the weather, good food. I love the fashion.
Oh yeah.
I just love it.
Which part of Italy has won your heart?
I've been vast. I've been to Lake Como. I've been to Portofino. I spent a lot of time in Milan with the other company I worked for. Brescia, Florence. Broad, Venice. I've traveled Italy backwards and forwards.
And then where would you go back again? Which one is your
I've been
favorite?
to Venice maybe 4 or 5 times. Or 6 times maybe. But I definitely go back.
What's with it?
I think it's the mystery. The mystery of the floating buildings almost in water. It's the serenity, the love.
I can even see the movie.
The bridges, the bridge and the bridge and the bridge. The food.
The Italian Job. Have you watched the Italian Job? Then you know Venice.
And the tourist as well. And generally the tourist, there's parts of it in Venice. So I absolutely love Venice. I love Venice. I love Lake Como. So
can I be personal?
Yeah.
Such a dynamite, powerful, very busy King Natulea. King, how do you let go of such a powerhouse?
No, we grew apart.
Busy, Akir?
I'm busy. We grew apart. I think when you marry young, and
how young were you?
I was 22 when I got married.
Hello,
Nick Papa ne?
How marathon?
Hey, Joy. Haven't had bedri. I got married at 22, and
how young was he?
28 at the time, 28, 30 almost. So I had not grown to know myself, and as much as I was raised by Abutua Papa, my Baba Mkulu, I still had the father wound. I was not raised by my mother's work. So there's part, and I'm dealing with it now. I'm seeing Dr. N fully on just for me to understand what part of me attracted that aspect and what part of trauma in me made me stay for so long in something that was so dysfunctional.
That's right.
So it ended up being completely dysfunctional. No regrets. I have 3 beautiful kids out of it. It's done. That's it. We move on.
Mara, last born. story salas born.
Hey. Niki mutsotsa hanyane. No, that one was like
from there no, last born about
my daughter was turning 18. Such a funny thing. One of my daughters was turning 18, and I had too much champagne to drink. So it's not something to write home about.
Champagne life.
Champagne life. And then I have a boy, and I have to keep explaining. Like, no, I have I'm a mother of a graduate, by the way.
Oh,
so
congrats.
I have a graduate, and I have a teen, then I have a baby. Like, how do you explain the separation and the baby?
Hey. All right, guys.
But anyway, I speak about it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, totally. So it's 3 kids from the same man. Yeah.
Now, let's add another element. You spoke about what you do for fun, what you do for work, and sometimes they're also blended in a way. But there's a spiritual side to life. You got a calling. O busy ka di mechanical engineer. Hey, o kupula umhlaba batlana le dikolite. O tsama mafatshe be ba re come to our world. And you answer the calling?
Answer the calling. So
wow.
I think it's something I did not know what I did not know, but something around 16 years, 15 years of age. It's something that
hit you.
The dreams and so on and so on. And after I had my firstborn, they became more and more. And I avoided that. I really truly focused on my career. I avoided that completely. And also, we're not necessarily spiritually aligned with my ex. And it was also something that, coming from academics and professionals. But in the end, it really did push. And I did Ngatwasa. And it's part of my journey. Ngatwasa ngukoko, kinkhono, Sesotho fully. And and I think for me, it's something that happened at the pinnacle of my struggles, or at the top where my struggles were heavy in terms of my relationship with my ex, and where there were so many tests. I was building a house, starting a business, and so on and so on. And one thing, Yoktwasa, it's absolute silence. Remember, what was all Twasa, and I don't speak to anyone. It's such you meditate, you sit with the pain, we sit with your thoughts. You go through that process, and you come out of that process so mature and so grounded in who you are. And I think for me, that is something that catapulted me to other opportunities after I left that. Not necessarily not iznyanya or badim gifts. I honor my ancestors. I don't pray them. I believe in God completely.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that lineage, that understanding, that acknowledging, that honoring them, and also the process of being in full meditative space continuously for such a long time. You get to think.
How long was this?
About 3-4 months. You get to think.
Silence.
But also even now, before Patla, you must be in tune with yourself. You must forgive. You must let go. How then do you do when Patla busy?
Hey.
So
it's busy the debit order.
Yeah. So it's that sacred space that when you get to meditate, you get to spend time with yourself. And for me, it helped me and continues to help me to focus and to be truly grounded. And also, some people say it's humiliating, but it's something that truly humbles one.
I was about to say. Yeah.
And in anything, you become so serene, so centered in your own self, and you become truly a humble person. And you can understand where the other part is coming from, because you deal with babies, you deal with old people. You are a healer. I'm a healer more than anything.
Sure.
I also do yoga, by the way. I'm a certified yoga practitioner. Stretch. Anyway,
Have you met someone?
No.
I can tell you now that, you normally see posts on Facebook or even Twitter, especially videos, and they say the cameraman had just one job and Mahlodi has just failed us because Joalane was on her feet dancing like hell here, and then shoot at nix. Right now I'm going to shop a TikTok challenge. Something. Yeah, I walk. Mara Mahlodi. She's a team, man. Nkgono. So I know Ubizwa Nkgono man, Joalane.
I said, Joalane.
Hey. Nkgono, what's next for you, girl? Because clearly there's a lot.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you still want to see yourself doing that you feel like, maybe that part I didn't explore?
I think the me having been so focused so much on my career, I sometimes feel like I missed living a bit. So where I am right now, I'm cycling.
Oh, nice.
I hike. So it's really true. I know there's no balance.
Yeah.
It's trying work-life balance.
Yeah.
And also that I'm a mother and father to my children. So it's important that I'm fully available and fully embracing that. So that as much as I'm pushing hard and I want more than 24 hours in the day, like we're saying, it's trying to balance that further. I mean, to balance that better.
Yeah.
And to eventually finish my PhD, to have a healing center. I think the space in South Africa for integrated healing.
Yes.
What do I mean by that? Where you have a psychologist, a dietitian, ugogo, a herbalist, where you
homeopath, all of it.
Where you go when you are really shattered, finished, and you really want to reset, but also consciously that you make interventions in your life. You take those pauses to go and refill your batteries, something like that. It's something that I'm really wanting to explore, and I'm quite excited about new opportunities in mining.
Sure.
Though I'm starting at the middle of it, which is processing. I do want to integrate backwards.
Yes.
To go into mining itself. I'm deeply exploring and working with a team of overseas investors. We are bringing a whole lot of refined products into South African market, into the SADC region. I've opened offices now in Lesotho. I've got offices in Botswana, and I'm busy in discussions in Zambia and Namibia and the likes. So it's to continue to build a legacy, but not for myself only and my children only, but for those that we employ and the communities that we work within.
Wow.
And to find love somewhere, maybe to make space in
it's but
in Dalifanganayo.
No. Like lightning. Like lightning.
No, it's to live a balanced life. And my parents, both of them are still alive, to enjoy the last years with them.
Wonderful. Except the fact that you just made me feel a little bit useless in terms of how I use my time. Because 24 hours in, I think I sleep more. Because you've made me realize, how many hours do you sleep?
I do sleep full 6-7 hours. I sleep with the man of the house, my little boy. But in between, I'd wake up and study and push.
Once you wake up, it's on.
Yeah.
I think once
once I wake up, it's on.
Yeah. We celebrate you. Happy Women's Month. Thank you for living your life the way you do, without you realizing that you're actually a torch, and you're showing us what is possible with whatever time, brains, opportunities that you're given, right? And we thought we should take this moment as Car 959, as Gauteng, right? And of course the rest of the world, and of course women in general, to say, Joalane Nkosi, we see you, and please keep doing what you do. Don't worry about whether or not you are teaching someone something. No. We are seeing it and we are learning from you, and we can only wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
Keep shining, girl.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. What a life. Matrodu kwe like This is Car 959 on the street, on the air. She's not going away. She'll still be around because we need her input on the blind spot. Don't go.